First Contact's Price. The holographic display in the United Earth Defense Council chamber cast an eerie blue glow across Admiral Sarah Chen's face as she studied the approaching vessels. 37 ships of unknown origin had just crossed Jupiter's orbit, their formation suggesting military precision rather than peaceful intent. The chamber, usually filled with diplomatic chatter and strategic debates, had fallen silent. "They're slowing down," Lieutenant Commander James Rodriguez reported, his fingers dancing across the neural interface pad. "Energy signatures suggest they're preparing to establish orbit around Luna." Admiral Chen straightened her uniform, a habit from her decades of service that surfaced whenever crucial decisions loomed. "Any response to our hails?" "Yes, Admiral." Rodriguez's voice wavered slightly. "They're transmitting now." The hologram shifted, revealing a towering figure with iridescent scales and multiple cybernetic augmentations. Its voice resonated through the chamber's acoustic system, a blend of mechanical precision and organic authority. "I am High Commander Vexthor of the Dominion Empire. Your species has been observed since your first nuclear detonation. Your technological progress has exceeded acceptable parameters for an unregistered civilization. Submit to immediate integration into the Dominion, or face extinction." The council chamber erupted in whispers. Admiral Chen remained still, her expression unchanged. 20 years of preparing for first contact had led to this moment, but not even humanity's most pessimistic scenarios had predicted such an aggressive approach. "High Commander," Chen responded, her voice steady. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Council. We respectfully decline integration without proper diplomatic discussion and terms negotiation." The alien cybernetic eye pulsed with a deep crimson light. "Admiral, perhaps I wasn't clear. This is not a negotiation. You have 6 Earth hours to submit, or we will demonstrate why the Dominion has remained unchallenged for 10,000 years." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the chamber in tense silence. Dr. Maya Patel, head of Project Aurora, stepped forward from the shadows where she had been observing. Her dark eyes held a mixture of concern and determination. "Admiral, it's time." Chen nodded slowly. For 15 years, they had kept Project Aurora hidden from public view, buried beneath the ice of Antarctica. The project represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, and their greatest gamble. "Execute Protocol Midnight Sun," Chen commanded, "and get me a secure line to Captain Diana Wright." Thousands of kilometers away, deep beneath the Antarctic ice, Captain Diana Wright stood before a window overlooking humanity's best-kept secret. The Aurora prototype stretched nearly 2 kilometers in length, its obsidian hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Unlike traditional spacecraft designs, Aurora resembled a massive manta ray, with sweeping wings housing the revolutionary quantum slip drives. "Captain, incoming transmission from Admiral Chen," her AI assistant, AI, announced. "Put her through," Wright responded, her breath fogging the reinforced glass. "Diana." Chen's voice carried the weight of command. "The Dominion Empire has given us 6 hours to surrender. Are you ready?" Wright watched as engineering crews performed final checks on Aurora's systems. The ship represented a convergence of humanity's most advanced technologies: quantum computing, dark matter manipulation, and consciousness transfer protocols. Each innovation alone would have been remarkable. Combined, they created something unprecedented in known space. "We're ready, Admiral. The crew is prepared, and Aurora's systems are at optimal capacity. Though I still have concerns about the consciousness transfer system's stability. Dr. Patel assures me the risks are manageable. The ability to directly interface human consciousness with Aurora's quantum systems is our only advantage against their superior numbers." Wright nodded, though the Admiral couldn't see it. The consciousness transfer system would allow her and her crew to become one with Aurora, controlling the massive vessel with the speed and precision of thought. The potential psychological risks were significant, but they were out of options. "Understood, Admiral. We'll begin crew integration within the hour. As Wright ended the transmission, she turned to her executive officer, Commander Raj Sharma. Begin crew integration procedures. I want everyone linked and stable before we make our move. Yes, Captain. Sharma paused, then added, the Dominion won't expect this, will they? Wright allowed herself a slight smile. They expect us to either surrender or attempt conventional resistance. They don't expect us to have anything that could threaten their technological superiority. She turned back to the window. Humanity has always been underestimated. It's time to show them why that's a mistake. The next 4 hours passed in a blur of activity. One by one, Wright's carefully selected crew of 300 underwent the consciousness transfer procedure. Each success strengthened their collective connection to Aurora's systems, creating a neural network that would allow them to operate the massive vessel as if it were an extension of their own bodies. When Wright finally took her place in the integration chamber, Dr. Patel personally supervised the procedure. Remember, Captain, she said as the neural interfaces activated, the sensation will be overwhelming at first. Don't fight it. Let your consciousness expand into Aurora's systems naturally. Wright closed her eyes as the transfer began. The initial rush of sensory input was staggering. Suddenly, she could feel every centimeter of Aurora's hull, every pulse of her quantum drives, every fluctuation in her defense systems. More importantly, she could sense her crew, their consciousness linked with hers in a vast neural network that made the ship feel alive. 300 minds working in perfect harmony, guided by a single purpose: survival. Above them, the Dominion fleet maintained their position, their weapons primed and ready. High Commander Vex Thor watched Earth's major population centers through multiple tactical displays, already planning the demonstration of power that would force humanity's submission. His species had overseen the integration of countless civilizations into the Dominion. Some required more convincing than others, but none had ever successfully resisted. The High Commander's cybernetic implants registered a sudden energy spike from the southern polar region. Before he could process the information, a massive shape erupted from beneath the ice, its dark hull seeming to bend light around it as it rose into the atmosphere. For the first time in his long military career, Vex Thor felt something approaching uncertainty. The vessel's design was unlike anything in the Dominion's extensive databases, and its energy signature defied conventional analysis. Impossible, he muttered, watching as the ship accelerated toward his fleet with impossible grace for its size. They're centuries away from this level of technology. In Aurora's neural network, Captain Wright allowed herself to feel a moment of satisfaction at the confusion she could sense in the Dominion fleet's reaction. Humanity had done more than create advanced technology. They had reimagined what technology could be. All hands, she communicated through the neural link, her thoughts reaching every crew member simultaneously. Prepare for engagement. Let's show them what humanity can do. The battle for Earth's future was about to begin, and humanity had no intention of submitting quietly to the night. Operation Starkiller. Through Aurora's quantum-enhanced sensors, Captain Diana Wright perceived the Dominion fleet in ways no conventional human technology could match. Each enemy vessel appeared as a complex pattern of energy signatures, their shield harmonics and weapons frequencies laid bare to her enhanced consciousness. The neural network connecting her crew hummed with focused intensity as they prepared for humanity's first interstellar battle. Their weapons are charging. Commander Sharma's thoughts resonated through the network. In their linked state, his tactical expertise merged seamlessly with Wright's strategic awareness. Primary weapons appear to be plasma-based, with quantum-tipped warheads as secondaries. Conventional weapons, Wright responded, her thoughts reaching the entire crew simultaneously. They're expecting a conventional fight. She could feel Aurora's systems responding to her intentions, quantum slip drives charging as dark matter collectors spooled up to full capacity. High Commander Vex Thor's voice boomed across all frequencies. Unknown vessel, power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. This is your only warning. Wright allowed herself a slight smile. knowing it would ripple through the crew's shared consciousness. Let's show them what unconventional looks like. Initialize Operation Starkiller. Aurora's response was immediate. The ship's unique design began to make sense as dark matter streams coursed through specialized channels in her hull, creating localized gravity distortions that bent both light and space around the vessel. To the Dominion sensors, Aurora seemed to fragment into multiple ghost images, each one as solid and real as the original. Impossible, Vex Thor muttered aboard his flagship. His cybernetic eyes struggled to track the human vessel as it appeared to split into 12 identical ships, each one moving with perfect coordination. Target the nearest copy and fire. Plasma beams lanced out from multiple Dominion vessels, but Aurora's copies shifted through space like dancers in a cosmic ballet. Where conventional ships would have relied on thrusters and engines, Aurora's quantum slip drives allowed for instant position changes that defied normal physics. They're recalibrating their targeting systems, Sharma observed through the network. Preparing to launch quantum warheads. Wright's consciousness expanded further into Aurora's systems, feeling the dark matter collectors reaching full capacity. Time to show them our primary weapon. Initialize the gravity lance. Deep within Aurora's core, the accumulated dark matter began to concentrate, channeled through crystalline structures that Dr. Patel's team had spent years perfecting. The technology was based on a simple observation. If gravity could bend light, then concentrated gravity could do much more. The Dominion fleet launched their quantum warheads, dozens of missiles streaking through space toward Aurora's multiple images. Wright watched through enhanced perception as the weapons approached, their quantum signatures clear to her integrated consciousness. Gravity lance charge, the weapon systems team reported through the neural link. Target locked on their flagship. Fire. A beam of concentrated gravitational force erupted from Aurora's bow, invisible to normal sight, but devastating in its effects. Space itself seemed to twist around the beam as it struck the Dominion flagship. The vessel's advanced shields, designed to resist energy and kinetic weapons, proved useless against the fundamental force of gravity itself. The massive ship began to compress, its hull buckling under forces it was never designed to resist. Vex Thor barely had time to register shock before his flagship imploded, crushed into a mass barely larger than a small asteroid. By the eternal void, one of the Dominion captains transmitted, "What kind of weapons are these primitives using?" The remaining Dominion ships broke formation, their confident attack pattern dissolving into chaos. Their sensors couldn't distinguish the real Aurora from her quantum copies, and their conventional weapons proved ineffective against her gravity-bending defenses. They're regrouping, Sharma noted. Standard Dominion doctrine calls for a strategic retreat when faced with unknown technology. They'll try to analyze our capabilities before engaging again. Wright nodded mentally, feeling Aurora's systems through the neural link. The gravity lance had consumed significant power, and maintaining multiple quantum copies strained both the ship's systems and the crew's linked consciousness. They had surprised the Dominion, but they couldn't maintain this level of performance indefinitely. All hands, prepare for Phase 2, Wright commanded through the network. They'll be back with countermeasures. We need to press our advantage while we have it. Through their shared connection, she could feel her crew's determination mixing with their exhaustion. The consciousness transfer system worked better than anyone had hoped, but it demanded incredible mental focus to maintain. Yet not a single crew member showed any sign of wanting to disconnect. Commander Sharma, begin calculations for a quantum slip to their rear flank. Dr. Patel's simulation suggested we could use the dark matter wake to disrupt their formations further. Calculating now, Captain. But there's something else. Sharma's thoughts carried a note of concern. I'm detecting unusual energy signatures from 3 of their larger vessels. They're attempting to match our quantum frequency patterns. Wright focused Aurora's sensors on the ships Sharma indicated. The Dominion vessels were indeed emitting strange energy patterns, probing Aurora's defenses with increasing precision. The aliens were learning, adapting their advanced technology to counter humanity's innovations. "They're more resourceful than we anticipated," Wright acknowledged. "Good. I'd hate for this to be too easy." She expanded her consciousness further into Aurora's systems, feeling the quantum slip drives charging for their next maneuver. The Dominion might be learning, but humanity had spent years preparing for this moment. They had more surprises ready. The neural network hummed with renewed purpose as Wright shared her plan with the crew. It was risky, pushing both Aurora's systems and their linked consciousness to their limits, but humanity's future hung in the balance. They had bloodied the Dominion's nose and shattered their aura of invincibility. Now they needed to show the aliens that humanity wasn't just capable of clever tricks. They were capable of winning. "All hands," Wright commanded, her thoughts resonating with authority through the neural link. "Prepare for combat maneuver Omega. Let's remind these aliens why they should have asked nicely." Aurora's quantum slip drives engaged, and the battle for humanity's independence entered its next phase. The Dominion was about to learn another lesson about underestimating Earth's defenders. The turning point. Admiral Sarah Chen watched the tactical displays in Earth's Defense Command Center as Aurora engaged the regrouped Dominion fleet. The alien vessels had adapted their formation, spreading out in a complex three-dimensional pattern that would make Aurora's gravity lance less effective against multiple targets. More concerning were the quantum frequency modulators they'd developed, technology that threatened to pierce Aurora's phantom images. "They're learning faster than we anticipated," Dr. Maya Patil observed, her fingers dancing across holographic displays as she analyzed the Dominion's adaptations. "Their technological base is impressive. They're not just copying our innovations, they're building countermeasures from first principles." Chen nodded grimly. "How's the crew holding up?" "The neural interface is stable, but the psychological strain is mounting. Extended consciousness transfer wasn't meant to last this long." Aboard Aurora, Captain Wright felt that strain throughout the neural network. Every crew member's fatigue and determination flowed through their shared consciousness, creating a complex symphony of human emotion and machine precision. The Dominion's new formation had nullified their initial tactical advantages, forcing them to rely on increasingly risky maneuvers. "Status report," Wright commanded through the network, her thoughts tinged with the metallic taste of adrenaline. Commander Sharma's response came instantly, his tactical analysis spreading through their shared awareness. "They've established a rotating defense grid. Any attempt to use the gravity lance against one ship will leave us vulnerable to counterattack from at least 3 others. Their quantum frequency modulators are also getting better at tracking our true position. Then we'll give them something new to think about." Wright expanded her consciousness deeper into Aurora's systems. "Begin emergency power transfer to the dark matter collectors. Prepare for total quantum field inversion." The crew's collective surprise rippled through the neural network. The maneuver Wright proposed had only been tested in simulations, and even there, it had proven dangerously unpredictable. "Captain," Sharma's thoughts carried clear concern. "A quantum field inversion at this scale could tear Aurora apart." "It could also tear their fleet apart," Wright responded. "Sometimes the best defense is to do something so crazy your enemy can't possibly predict it." Through their shared connection, Wright felt her crew's fear transform into resolute determination. They had all volunteered for this mission knowing the risks, knowing that humanity's survival might require the ultimate sacrifice. In the Dominion fleet, First Strike Leader Kralvex watched the human vessel with growing frustration. After the destruction of High Commander Vexthor's flagship, he had assumed command of the fleet. His tactical innovations had successfully countered the humans' initial advantages, but the cost had been high. 5 more Dominion ships had been lost to the humans' gravity weapons and impossible maneuvers. First Strike Leader, his sensor officer reported, "We're detecting massive power fluctuations from the human vessel. Their energy signature is becoming unstable." Kralvex's cybernetic implants analyzed the data, trying to predict the humans' next move. His species had conquered thousands of worlds, integrated countless civilizations into the Dominion, but none had fought quite like this. The humans seemed to have no regard for conventional tactical doctrine or even basic laws of physics. "They're either desperate or insane," he muttered. "Prepare to." His orders were cut short as Aurora's quantum field inversion began. Space itself seemed to shudder as the ship's dark matter collectors reached critical capacity. The laws of physics bent and twisted around the vessel as it created a localized bubble of inverted quantum space. The effect was catastrophic. Dominion ships closest to Aurora found their quantum frequency modulators overloading as reality itself seemed to flip inside out around them. Energy weapons fired at the human vessel curved back on themselves, creating loops of destructive force that threatened their own ships. "Impossible!" Kralvex shouted as his flagship systems began to fail. No species should be capable of this level of quantum manipulation. In Earth's Defense Command Center, Dr. Patel watched in amazement as her theories about quantum field inversion were proved correct in the most spectacular way possible. "They've done it," she whispered. "They've actually done it." Admiral Chen leaned forward, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "What exactly are we seeing, Doctor?" "They've created a bubble of inverted quantum space, a region where the fundamental forces of reality operate in reverse. The Dominion's technology relies on quantum principles our universe considers normal. In inverted space, their systems don't just fail, they become actively dangerous to their own ships." The effect spread through the Dominion fleet like a cosmic virus. Ships that tried to escape found their engines working in reverse, driving them back into the chaos. Weapons systems overloaded, shields collapsed, and communication networks dissolved into quantum static. Aboard Aurora, Wright and her crew fought to maintain control as the quantum inversion strained both ship and consciousness to their limits. The neural network buzzed with the effort of hundreds of minds working in perfect harmony to prevent their own destruction. "Hull integrity at 60%, Sharma reported through gridded mental focus. "The inversion field is starting to affect our systems as well." Wright pushed through the pain of maintaining the neural link under such stress. "Hold position. We need to force them to." Her thought was interrupted by a broad-spectrum transmission from the Dominion fleet. Kralvex's voice carried something the Dominion had never before shown to any species, respect tinged with fear. "This is First Strike Leader, Kralvex to the human vessel Aurora. We request a cessation of hostilities. Our fleet stands down." The words echoed through Aurora's neural network, carrying with them the weight of history. Humanity had done more than survive. They had forced the mighty Dominion to reconsider its entire approach to technological advancement. Should we accept? Sharma's thought carried both hope and suspicion. Wright studied the Dominion fleet through Aurora's sensors. Their ships were damaged, their formations broken, and their confidence shattered. But more importantly, she sensed something new in their transmission. Genuine curiosity about how humanity had achieved such technological breakthroughs. "Power down the inversion field," she commanded. "But keep our weapons hot. Sometimes the best way to make peace is to prove you're capable of winning the war." As Aurora's quantum field stabilized and normal space reasserted itself, Wright felt a profound shift in the conflict's dynamics. The Dominion had entered Earth's solar system expecting to find primitive beings ready for conquest. Instead, they had found equals, perhaps even superiors, in the realm of quantum physics and space warfare. The turning point had arrived, not just in the battle, but in humanity's place in the galaxy. The question now was, what would they do with this hard-won respect? Empire's reflection. The Grand Chamber of the Dominion Council on Nexus Prime had never been so silent. Massive holographic displays showed the battle footage from Earth, focusing on the moment Aurora created its quantum inversion field. The assembled council members, representatives from the 100 most powerful species in the Dominion, watched with a mixture of horror and fascination as their supposedly invincible fleet was brought to heel by a civilization they had dismissed as primitive. Supreme Counselor Zaxreth, his scaled skin showing signs of age and his cybernetic enhancements gleaming under the chamber's lights, stood before the assembly. For 10,000 years, the Dominion has maintained order through technological superiority. Today, we must confront an uncomfortable truth. We have grown complacent. First Strike Leader Krolvex, summoned to testify before the Council, stood at attention. The defeat at Earth had cost him his command, but his tactical innovations during the battle had earned him a different role, head of the newly formed Human Technology Assessment Division. The humans didn't just defeat our fleet, Krolvex reported. They forced us to question our fundamental understanding of quantum mechanics. Their gravity lance technology alone represents a breakthrough our scientists thought impossible. And their neural integration system. He paused, his cybernetic eye pulsing with excitement. It's beyond anything we've achieved. On Earth, similar discussions were taking place in the United Earth Defense Council chamber. Admiral Chen sat across from Ambassador Lyanna Vale, Earth's newly appointed diplomatic representative to the Dominion. Through a quantum communication link, technology shared by the Dominion as a gesture of good faith, they could see the alien delegation preparing for their first official diplomatic contact. They're scared, Vale observed, studying the alien representative's body language. Not just of our technology, but of what we represent. We've shattered their worldview. Good, Chen replied, though her expression remained thoughtful. Fear can lead to respect, and respect can lead to genuine cooperation. But we need to be careful. The Dominion didn't become the dominant force in the galaxy by being predictable. In orbit above Earth, Aurora maintained a vigilant watch. Captain Wright and her crew had finally disconnected from the neural network. Their consciousness returned to their physical bodies. The experience had changed them. Hours of shared consciousness had created bonds deeper than any conventional military unit could achieve. Medical report, Wright requested, sitting in her physical command chair for the first time in days. Her body felt strange, almost alien, after being integrated with Aurora's systems for so long. Commander Sharma, looking equally disoriented, checked his displays. All crew members are stable, but Dr. Patel's team is monitoring everyone for psychological effects. Being linked that long, it left marks. Good marks or bad? Both, probably. We're more efficient now, even without the neural link. It's like we can anticipate each other's thoughts. He paused. Some crew members are reporting dreams about being the ship. Wright nodded, understanding completely. She still felt phantom sensations of Aurora's systems, like an amputee feeling a lost limb. Have Dr. Patel's team monitor the situation. This technology is too valuable to abandon, but we need to understand its long-term effects. Their conversation was interrupted by a priority transmission from Earth. Dr. Patel's hologram appeared on the bridge, her expression animated with excitement. Captain, we've been analyzing the quantum frequency data from the battle. The Dominion's attempts to counter our technology revealed something fascinating about their own development path. Explain, Wright requested, leaning forward. They've been following a linear technological progression, building each innovation on established principles. But humans, we make intuitive leaps. We see connections they miss because we're not bound by 10,000 years of established doctrine. In the Dominion Council chamber, similar revelations were causing upheaval. Younger species within the Empire, inspired by humanity's example, were beginning to question the rigid technological hierarchy that had defined Dominion society for millennia. Supreme Counselor Zaxreth faced the growing discord with unexpected calm. Perhaps, he addressed the council, this is exactly what our empire needed. Stagnation is a greater threat than any external enemy. The humans have shown us that there are still frontiers of science we haven't explored, paths we haven't considered. A junior counselor, representing one of the newer species in the Dominion, spoke up. They'd done more than that. Their neural integration technology suggests a different way of thinking about consciousness itself. My species has already begun experimenting with similar concepts. Krolvex watched the political drama unfold with growing interest. The humans hadn't just survived first contact with the Dominion. They had inadvertently sparked a technological and philosophical revolution within the Empire. Ancient power structures were being questioned, and new alliances were forming around shared interests in human innovations. Back on Earth, Ambassador Vale prepared for her first official meeting with the Dominion delegation. Admiral Chen had insisted on holding the talks in the same facility where Project Aurora was developed, a subtle reminder of humanity's capabilities. They'll try to negotiate access to our technology, Vale predicted, reviewing her briefing materials, particularly the neural integration system, and will negotiate for access to their faster-than-light travel technology and their medical advances, Chen responded. But more importantly, we'll establish our position as equals, not subjects. The Dominion needs to understand that the age of simple conquest is over. Already happening, Dr. Patel interjected, bringing up new data on their displays. We're detecting increased quantum communications between younger Dominion species. They're sharing research, forming independent technological cooperatives. The Empire's monopoly on innovation is crumbling. Wright's voice came through their secure channel from Aurora. We should be careful. A wounded empire is often more dangerous than a confident one. Some factions within the Dominion might prefer open war to losing their technological advantages. Chen nodded grimly. Which is why Aurora needs to remain ready. Peace through strength isn't just an old saying. It's the foundation of any lasting diplomatic solution. As the various parties prepared for the first official diplomatic contact between Earth and the Dominion Empire, one thing was clear: the galaxy was changing. Humanity had done more than defend itself. It had introduced an element of chaos into a carefully ordered system. The question now was whether that chaos would lead to a new age of cooperation and innovation, or tear the existing order apart. Dawn of Unity. 1 year after humanity's successful defense against the Dominion fleet, the skies above Earth presented a sight that would have been unimaginable months earlier. Ships of various designs and origins hung in orbit, representatives from 24 species, all drawn by humanity's revolutionary approach to technology and space warfare. Aurora, now the flagship of Earth's growing defense fleet, maintained a watchful presence among the assembled vessels. Captain Diana Wright stood on her physical bridge, studying the diplomatic traffic flowing between the ships. The neural integration system had been refined over the past year, used now in shorter, more focused bursts rather than extended immersion. The Arcturian delegation is requesting another demonstration of the gravity lance technology, Commander Sharma reported, a slight smile playing at his corners of his mouth. 3rd time this week. Tell them the same thing we told the others, Wright replied. They're welcome to observe our training exercises, but detailed technical specifications are only available through official diplomatic channels. The policy had served Earth well. Their technological innovations had become valuable diplomatic currency, carefully traded for other advances that humanity needed. More importantly, the presence of multiple independent species in Earth orbit served as a deterrent against any thoughts of renewed Dominion aggression. In the Antarctic facility where Project Aurora was born, Admiral Chen met with Dr. Patel and Ambassador Vale in what had become their regular strategy session. Holographic displays showed the current state of various diplomatic initiatives and technological exchange programs. The Dominion's younger species are becoming more assertive, Vale reported, bringing up recent intelligence data. The Centaurians have already implemented their own version of our neural integration technology. The Dominion Council is struggling to maintain their traditional authority. Good, Chen nodded. A more balanced power structure serves everyone's interests. How are the joint research projects progressing? Dr. Patel's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. Better than we hoped. The Syrian quantum physicists have helped us refine the gravity lance technology, reducing power consumption by 30%, and the Proximan bioengineers. She paused, still amazed by the development. They've found a way to make the neural integration process completely reversible, with no residual effects. What about the rumors of unrest in the outer regions of the Dominion? Wright's voice came through their quantum link, her concern evident. Vale brought up a new set of data. Some of the older, more conservative species are resisting the changes. They've seen their influence diminish as younger species form independent technological alliances. There's talk of possible secession. The Empire's experiencing growing pains, Chen observed. 10,000 years of rigid hierarchy breaking down in months. We need to be ready for the turbulence that's coming. On Nexus Prime, the Dominion's capital world, Supreme Counselor Zaxreth faced his own challenges. The once orderly council chamber had become a forum for heated debates about the Empire's future. Traditional power blocks were dissolving as species aligned themselves based on their stance toward technological innovation and cooperation with Earth. The humans have offered us a choice, Zaxreth addressed the assembled council. We can resist change and watch our empire fragment, or we can embrace a new era of collaborative development. The linear path that served us for millennia has reached its end. In Earth orbit, Aurora's sensors detected a new arrival. A massive vessel, unlike any in the assembled fleet, emerged from faster-than-light travel. Its design incorporated elements of both Dominion and human technology, the first product of the joint engineering corps established between Earth and the more progressive Dominion species. The Unity, Wright breathed, recognizing the ship they'd heard so much about. Right on schedule. The vessel represented more than just technological cooperation. It was crewed by members of multiple species, including humans, each bringing their unique perspectives and innovations to create something greater than any one civilization could achieve alone. In the Antarctic facility, the assembled leaders watched the Unity's arrival with a mix of pride and anticipation. This was the future they had fought for, not just survival, but the chance to help shape a new galactic order. Hard to believe it all started with them trying to force our submission, Vale mused. Humanity has always been at its best when faced with extinction, Chen replied. We don't just survive, we revolutionize. Dr. Patel nodded in agreement. The Dominion thought they were coming to integrate a primitive species. Instead, they found partners who could help them break free from their own limitations. Through Aurora's quantum communications, Wright added, and we found something we never expected. A galaxy full of potential allies who were just waiting for someone to show them a different way. The Unity's arrival marked more than just a technological milestone. It represented a fundamental shift in how civilizations could interact. The old model of conquest and submission was giving way to something new, a framework where innovation and cooperation could triumph over domination and control. As Earth's leaders watched the massive ship settle into orbit, they knew their work was far from over. The galaxy was entering an age of unprecedented change. Old powers were evolving, new alliances were forming, and humanity's influence was spreading in ways they had never imagined. But they had proven something crucial, that humanity's greatest strength wasn't just its technology or its determination to survive. It was the ability to imagine different possibilities, to think beyond established limits, and to inspire others to do the same. The dawn of this new era brought both opportunities and challenges. The galaxy was becoming more complex, more interconnected, and more unpredictable. But humanity was ready. They had faced extinction and emerged stronger. They had turned enemies into allies and transformed defeat into revolution. As the Unity began its first powered trials in Earth orbit, its hybrid crew working in perfect synchronization, Admiral Chen smiled. Sometimes, she said, the best way to win a war is to make it unnecessary. The assembled leaders watched as the ship's revolutionary engines powered up, its hull gleaming with the combined achievements of multiple civilizations. The age of isolation was over. The future belonged to those who could adapt, innovate, and most importantly, cooperate. Humanity had not just survived first contact, they had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. And this was only the beginning.